You see the video, you see the title, EPiK, pros and cons. Wow. I have a list. I have my coffee. I have a natural sunlight. I got my instrumental playlist in the background. Oh, yeah, it's getting pretty serious. Excuse my setup. I'm sitting on my floor because I wanted the natural lighting. Anyway, I don't want to waste your time. I'm Davian. Subscribe if you want to subscribe. Follow me on Instagram if you want to. Let's get right into this. We're going to start with the pros first, then the cons. There is no top 10. There is no order. I'm just going to be listing. I just want to give you all the best information that I can in the easiest and the shortest way. So I'll try not to talk fast. Let's go. As some of you may know, I've been here for 9 months. Wow, that's insane. Today is June 17th, 2023. I arrived August 17th, 2022, exactly 9 months. Let's start with these pros, okay? So my first pro that I have written down is the experience of living and working overseas with EPiK. So personal background, I've been wanting to do this since 2019 when I was 19. I'm 23 now. And I'll definitely say the biggest benefit is living here and experiencing another country. I am American. Shocker, I'm kidding. I'm American. And to have the opportunity to live and work in a place that you are not a native, it is so eye-opening and different and truly a blessing, a super fun experience. And I definitely think if you want to have that experience, Korea is best bet for you. And there's plenty of videos that will go further in depth about this particular pro, but I just want to let you guys know that right off the bat. First, number one pro would simply be coming here and being in South Korea with all the good and all the bad. Second pro, EPiK handles all school contact in the beginning phase. So essentially, sort of what EPiK is almost like a recruiter. It is a company that they will get you and put all of your information that you send that application for to a school, to a department of education in a particular city, and present you and say like, hey, like, what do you think about this particular individual as your next foreign English teacher? And they go from there. So they present you and they handle all that hard stuff at the beginning. It may seem like that initial interview process and the application process is tedious, but it's actually a lot less work for you in the long run because they are the one, EPiK is the one that is getting you the job. All you have to do essentially is show up and do your best work. Third pro, this is a big one. I think everyone talks about this in terms of EPiK itself, and I'm actually sitting in here reaping the benefits. Having the paid apartment, Clink. So obviously I do not pay rent, and when you join EPiK, you also will not pay rent. Your apartments could be of differing sizes, shapes, here, there, country, city. Yeah, it's a lot of that. However, you are not paying rent, yet you are still paying maintenance bills, and you are also paying electricity and gas. So those are the three big things. And of course, other amenities. Moving on to my fourth. Like I said, no particular order. I'm just sharing information with you. The teaching experience that you get with EPiK is amazing. Now, this is a bit subjective because I know a lot of teachers, I'm friends with a lot of teachers here, obviously, and not everyone is necessarily wanting to take the teaching path in the future. So this is subjective, but having that experience, if you are looking to be in the teaching field in the future, somewhere in education, this is a great start. That's why I came. I came because I want to explore that avenue of teaching in the future whenever I go back to America. And I feel like having that experience is amazing. It's also a perfect resume builder. I think that EPiK is an amazing resume builder. To see that you have been in Korea for 1 year, 2 years. I know people who have been here 8 years, 10 years, even longer than that. It looks amazing. There are some upsides and downsides to this. However, I do feel like it is more of a benefit to see that, hey, this individual has been in Korea, has lived there, has worked there, survived, thrived, and more. I think it looks amazing. I'm sure employers would love to see something like that. So my fifth point that I have written down is that training is provided. This is for new teachers or for teachers who have never taught before, who I know a lot of teachers who have had no interest in teaching back in America, wherever they're from. I went to college for 4 years. My degree is in linguistics. I had my TEFL, Teaching English as a Foreign Language certificate, before I came here. So all my boxes were kind of checked off. I know how to teach English. I've worked with many students. I taught swimming. I taught English online. I worked at a school back home. So this all culminated for me, but you may not be like that, and not everyone that I know is like that. So EPiK takes their time with the orientation, actually, and with a lot of other materials along your journey to becoming a teacher, to train you and to make you the best teacher that you can be, honestly. And I think that's a great thing. They don't throw you to the wolves and say like, okay, go. No, they got your back. We have textbooks, we have seminars, we have had lectures. We even still to this day, we have training in. So my 6th point is orientation. If you haven't seen that vlog, please check it out. I love that vlog so much. Such good times. So orientation is definitely the chance to meet others and to connect with other foreign teachers. I made plenty of friends there. I've had an amazing time at orientation. I loved it. I loved it, loved it, loved it so much. That process of having like a week buffer before you just go to your job is definitely needed. Please soak in all that time. Some people love orientation, other people don't like it. It is a lot of, it feels like school. You get up early, have to have breakfast by like, I think a crazy time in the morning. Off the top of my head, I think it was like you had to be there by like 7. First class was like at like 8:30, like 2 classes, then a lunch, then 2 more classes, and then sleep, and then wake up. You do that for like 5 days. So you'll love orientation. I consider it a big pro because I met plenty of friends there. And a lot of my friends that I met at orientation, we're still friends to this day. So shout out to Deerin, my roommate, and shout out to Annalise, who was my lesson demonstration partner. I think that you definitely have a community out here for sure, definitely through EPiK. And what I mean by that is all my teachers who are in Daejeon with me, for one, we're all definitely friends and or friendly with each other. We went through so much together, and a lot of us actually hang out together very often. So I think having that community definitely helps. Are we all best friends? No, but you don't have to be best friends. I've made so many friends here, and I definitely don't feel alone. I feel that sense of community with the people in my city, and even with other EPiK teachers that I meet who are in Seoul and Busan, far, far, far places. Having that community through EPiK definitely will help a lot for sure. And one of the biggest pros of EPiK would be the benefits of working for a public school system. So this is a very big one, because when you come to teach in Korea, you're either going to be, with EPiK, you're going to be in a public school system. If you don't come through EPiK, or maybe you come through some other organization, you could potentially be in a Hakwon. So public school Hakwon. Hakwon is academy. They're all over the place in Korea, everywhere, everywhere. Just down the street from my apartment, there's like 6 of them. Most students will go to these. Hakwon is a private institution, private school, where English is taught, typically by a native teacher, several native teachers. And it's a different experience. There's a lot more that goes on, but the biggest points that I want to get across to you today, why EPiK has that big pro of you working in a public school system, is because we're government funded. Unlike a Hakwon who is privately funded, when you're funded by the government, you're gonna get your money on time. There's gonna be no crook bosses, no illegal contracts, no random firings, nothing like that. That unpredictability aspect of a Hakwon is virtually non-existent, because you are working for, yes, the Department of Education of your city, but it's essentially Korea, like the government, you know? I think that comes with a lot of stability. I think that comes with a lot of credibility. And this is not shading my Hakwon friends. I have a lot of friends who work at Hakwons, but I feel like Hakwons they can be shady. Some can be good, some can be bad. Actually, before I had the chance to be an EPiK teacher, story time, I actually was just applying to places online in Korea. And I got contacted by a Hakwon at the time. I mean, I'm not gonna say anything bad. Also, just to preface, I'm not saying anything bad. Even when I get to the cons in the next section, I'm still not saying anything bad per se. I want to be more factual with you all and more open. I don't normally do videos of me just sitting talking, so I wanted to try something different today. So I did almost work for this Hakwon, actually. I didn't really know the difference. I did a little bit of research here and there, but once I started doing research on Reddit, that's what definitely made a lot of the difference, because that's when I started to realize like, oh, this is what goes on in Hakwon. It's very unpredictable. People were saying about this particular place that the hours are insane. You might not get paid on time. I would say that my last big pro for EPiK, I would say, is the reputation of it. It is very reputable. It is very professional. I think that with EPiK, they have all their ducks in a row and they expect you to have all your ducks in a row too. So please do. But I would definitely say that EPiK is one of the most popular, well-known, and most recognized way of coming and teaching in Korea. Let's talk about these cons though. First con I would say is the application process is long and tedious. So you have to write 3 essays, you have to get 2 letters of recommendation, you have to fill out the big application form. Anyway, what I have to say about this, and don't even get me started on, then you have to get the FBI check. It's different per country. You have to get your degrees apostilled, things along those lines. Don't forget, if you have any questions, you can always sound off in the comments, or don't be afraid to DM me. However, this con, I would say the application is long. However, it's doable. Don't think it's anything that is like gonna like make you be like, oh, I'm not gonna apply. Like, you can do it. Second biggest con, this particular con is we are paid monthly. Let me say that one more time. We in EPiK, we are only paid monthly. No bi-weekly, no weekly, nothing like that. You are paid on the 25th, as of right now, of every month. So biggest implication that I'm trying to say is when you first move out here, please make sure that you set aside money to sustain yourself for a month. Please, please, please. I'm sure your coordinator will tell you that, but I'm going to tell you that again. You can use wherever your card is from back home. Just make sure that you save up that money, do what you need to do so that way that first month while you're waiting on your first check, you can sustain yourself. I actually was working 2 jobs before I moved here just to save up extra. Every city gets paid a little bit differently, and you are also paid differently on your experience. I wouldn't say this is a con. This is just something that I wanted you to be aware of. Third thing I would say is once you arrive in Korea, well, once you arrive to your school, EPiK is not responsible for you anymore whatsoever. I'm not saying they're going to abandon you, because they're not. However, they no longer are responsible for what you do, anything along those lines. Because once you get to the school, they've done their job. Their job was to get you into the school, and for you to get the job, you have the job. So the flip side of this, I would say, is recently, I want to say in about May, another con is that you may not be informed. EPiK will not inform you until you sort of get here during orientation about the ARC card, alien registration card. Everyone is going to have to get one. Bank information, like choosing what bank is right for you, this, that, and the third. And also having and starting your own phone plan here, phone number. EPiK doesn't really tell you about these things sort of until you get here. So it is best that you do a little bit of research on knowing those things. In the future, I hope to make more informative EPiK videos alongside the vlogs that I already make. Another quote unquote con, I don't know if this should be in a negative context. However, this is considered a full-time job. Let me repeat that. 한 번 더. Otra vez. Full-time job. That's right. Boom. Fireworks. I'm sure most of us at this age, once we get to Korea, we have already worked a full-time job or a semblance of it. I used to work at the sheriff's office in my city. For 2 summers, that was considered a full-time job. Although I was an intern, I have worked multiple different jobs in my life. I just want to get across that this is not a vacation. Anyway, I would say that when it comes to the full-time job aspect, it's fun. I honestly don't think I've ever had a job this fun, but I also am a person that I love what I do. So I don't really feel like I'm working per se. Along with that full-time job aspect, I will say that our hours are 8:30 to 4:30. So like I said, pretty full. You will not be working exactly all the way from 8:30 to 4:30. For example, just my schedule. I am told to come to school at 8:30. I get there 8:25, 8:26, 8:30. But your first class, my first class, is not until 8:50. I've never been late to a single class. I've always been in the classroom, 8:50, ready to go. Teaching from 8:50, and I am done on most days either at 12 o'clock, exactly 12 o'clock, or 12:50. 8:50 to 12 o'clock that's the time that I'm teaching. Other than that, I have lunch from about 12:10 to like 12:50. Then after that, I plan. So I pretty much plan for my next day around 1 o'clock to 4:30. Biggest thing, I'll make a video in the future about planning for classes because I tend to plan days in advance. And what I also do is on Fridays, I will plan for the next week. So that way I'm not coming in on Monday like, oh my gosh, let me get stuff together. No, I already have stuff together. So those are the hours. I will say it's not that bad. It will take the first week most likely to get used to the teacher's schedule, but you can definitely do it. I promise you. If I can do it, you can do it. It will take a little second though. That first, like having to wake up super early. I get up now at like 6:40 in the morning, and then I try to sleep on a school day, 10:30, 11 o'clock. You are going to be away from your friends and your family for probably a very long time. And I won't lie to you, that was actually the hardest aspect of EPiK for me. Like I said, I've been wanting to do this since I was 19 years old, but it didn't register to me until I got here that, whoa, I'm not with my mom. I'm not with my dad. I'm not with my brother. I don't get to see my best friends anymore. And it was really hard. I won't lie to you. I don't think I've ever expressed it on this channel, but my first, and I will make a video on it in the future, but my first 4 or 5 months were very rough. Luckily, I have grown accustomed and I love it here. I built my own life here, but it was not the case at the beginning. So that is a very big con. If you've never been away from your friends or family, you will be with EPiK. So it's tough, but like I said, if I can do it, you can do it. So sort of to go hand in hand with that is you only have 26. Like I said, this may be different regarding your contract, regarding your city. I'm not sure if this is EPiK wide. It most likely may be though. You have about 26 days of PTO, paid time off, to use within your entire, for example, my contract is August to August. Within August 22 to August 23, 26 paid time off days. That does not mean that I can wake up and be like, I don't want to go into school today. And I'm going to call and I'm going to say, hey, I'm sick. I can't come in today. You cannot do that. Big no-no. Andwe. You can't do that. And I'm going to use America for an example. Unlike in America, if I had a job and I woke up and I just decided I'm not going to go to work today, so I'm going to use a PTO day, it doesn't work like that in Korea. So let me expel that right now. You basically are expected to show up to work every single day, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, even if you have a cough, even if you are sick, even if you have a cold. The only things that you can be necessarily excused for is if you have COVID. And also, you are only able to use those PTO days on days that the students are not at school. It's a very insane concept. I don't know who came up with that, but that's not my business. Students go to school year round. There is no summer break. So right now I'm in June. If I was in America back home, if I was in Florida, the students would be off of school right now and they would be on their summer break. It's not like that in Korea. I'm actually still teaching right now, Monday through Friday. There are break periods where the students will be off for like a handful of weeks. You are able to use your PTO days in those break periods. Winter break, summer break. Not the same summer break in America where where the students are off for 2 months. It's going to be like 4 weeks, 5, something along those lines. Last winter break, I was able to take days off with my parents because my students weren't here. They were on their break. This is a double-edged sword, this con, but you do have to pay for your school lunch. It could potentially be 90,000 won, 80,000, depends on the school. Think it depends on exactly what is being cooked, blah, blah. I do know teachers who do not eat school lunch. I'm a teacher that I love school lunch. I love school lunch. Oh my gosh, the portions are amazing. The food is amazing. I literally take a picture and send it to my family group chat every day for lunch because it's so good. I'm a person who loves trying food. I love trying new things. So to have new food every day, it's amazing to me. So it's not really bad for me to pay. However, I can see how someone would be like, having to pay for school lunch is crazy. Because actually the Hakwon teachers, they don't pay for their school lunch. They just get their lunch for free. Another con that I have is you are required to do an English camp. This one is interesting. So during those breaks that I was telling you about, right? That summer, winter break, technically the kids are not at school, but I would say about the first week of that, it could be the first week, second week, third week, sometime during that break, you will have to teach an English camp. You essentially have to pick a theme, help them and improve their English skills. It can be probably the most quote unquote stressful part of this job because you're essentially leading a camp all by yourself. And if you don't have that experience, it's gonna be tough. I actually just did my first camp, which was a Pokemon camp, last winter, right before my parents came. And it was about 2 weeks. It was with third grade and fourth grade. And then coming up in July, I will be doing my first summer camp with fifth and sixth grade. It's a Harry Potter themed camp. I was actually just working on it actually on Friday. But the reason why you have to do these camps is because it sort of comes down to your visa, your working visa. You have to have a certain amount of hours worked. And like I said, it depends on your outlook, would be desk warming. So desk warming, essentially on those breaks, remember when the students are at school, you are at school. But when they're not, you have the chance to use your PTO and not be, or you will have to do desk warming, which means all the students are gone. Most of the teachers are gone. It might be office staff and certain administration staff that are still at the school and you. So during those times, it can be a little boring. You have a lot of things that you can do. You can plan for next semester. You can plan for the next classes, depending when your desk warming time is. Another con would potentially be your co-teachers. So if you don't know, with EPiK, you are technically not teaching a class by yourself. You are sort of co-teaching with a Korean teacher who is already here, who is already established, who is also an English teacher. And this comes with its own merits. I am very lucky. I have two amazing co-teachers. We work very well together. I am glad to have met them. I'm glad that they are able to help me adjust. However, I do know that for a lot of people, a co-teacher can sort of make or break the experience. When it comes to that, it comes to more of when you come into your school, you should definitely try to make the best impression on everybody, especially the person that you're going to be working with most closely. Does that mean be buddy-buddy with them, best friend? No, I don't think so. But it definitely helps to get to know them, get to understand the dynamic between you both, especially in the classroom dynamic. All right. We made it to the end. We made it to the end of my first pros and cons video. I want to make more pros and cons videos soon. I want to make one about the pros and cons of living in South Korea. I have a lot of things to say. However, I wanted to just preface with this video, I am not saying any negative things on the cons. It's more of just fact. So anyway, I believe that's all I have to say for today. Like I said, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. To talk to me in the comments. I'm always here to help. I'm always here to talk. I make this channel for you all and for myself. You can do it. You can do it for sure. EPiK is an amazing program. I love it here. I definitely think that without them, my time in Korea would not have been as smooth as it is. So I will see you all in the next video. I have some surprises for you in the future. I love all of you guys. My name is Davian, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.